G'day guys, so you just got yourself a new drone for Christmas or you went out and bought yourself one. This is a basic guide to what you need to know in Australia before you go flying it. Laws change all the time, so always check, but I'll give you some links to the right places to check. Basically what to do before you go launch this in the air. This is for any drone. So I have a Mavic Air, great drone, that's another story. But I'll go through, so if you have a Mavic Air, this will be even better for you because you can see what I'm doing. I've been flying this over a year now, I love it. There's newer models out now, but still I'm not upgrading. But basically we'll go through the checks. What are we going to do? How do we get our batteries right? What should we have ready? Can we fly in certain areas? I'll tell you how to go through, make sure you got your current laws, you know the basics. The drone, well, the DJI drones will make sure you know the basics, so some tips there. Basically what to do with your footage once you got it. You're going to capture some amazing stuff, so what are we going to do with that? So, and how can we use that to, benefit ourselves? And are you just doing it for family, a hobby? Are you trying to make some money off this stuff? And basic flight instructions, we'll get this in the air. I'll show you what I do before I go launch it, over the sea or anything like that. And by the end of it, we'll have you confident to fly. Yeah guys, it's Paul here from Aussie Survivor. So basically we're talking about drones today. It's very important that we go through this first step. Some of you guys might be pros and know everything and got licenses. Mate, feel free to put in the comments if you know more than me, because I'm not claiming to be an expert. I rely on CASA and this stuff updates all the time. So if you know something I've missed, please chuck it in the comments. Help everyone out. That's what this community is about. But basically, I see a lot of cheap drones getting sold, and nothing wrong with that. It's fun. I've had a couple of cheap drones and had lots of fun with them. Once you start hitting into the DJI territory and getting into the minis and the Mavics and the Air 2s, Zooms, Phoenix, my God, depends on your budget. But it's important that doesn't matter what drone you have, you know what your rules are, because the last thing we need is someone grabbing a drone, flying it down the beach, sitting from their tower, smashing into someone, and then it's game over for everyone. They're going to just ban them, and we've got to make it really hard, tight regulations. They have tightened up the regulations now, hence why all the laws. So the first thing to do, and I'll put a link in the bottom of this thing in the comments or in the description of where to go. So go straight to CASA, do your course. It's a basic, it's not hard. It's basically, don't fly, within 30 meters. So if you're at the beach and you're sitting there and you whack your drone out and launch it out, you're gonna piss some people off. So, and you also risk bloody flying into someone. Flying over surfers, I'm a surfer, I know a few of the boys, they don't like a drone hanging over their head. They don't want to be filmed. So, you might want to just check some etiquette things too, so always keep a bit of etiquette about you when you are filming someone, because you are filming someone with a drone. And these are quite high, like mine can shoot in 4K. So it's not it's not a crappy camera that you can just film someone. So just be mindful of that. So I know a lot of people love surfing, but make sure you know someone out there if you are, or fly really high, because they may splash your drone, and there goes God knows how much you spent. I've had some cheap ones, and yeah, they were a little bit of fun, but once you start getting into these guys, they've got mad range. And now another thing is you need to have visual sight of it all the time. That is sometimes hard to do, because this, well, in this camera in this area it looks pretty big, but once it gets to 50 meters, it can look kind of small. So I think having a good understanding where your drone is, knowing exactly where it is at all times, could be a bit more clarification there, but you are meant to have a visual sight. If you're flying in the middle of the ocean and there's no one around, you might be a K out. That's, sort of like you could say, yeah, I could see it, I knew it was that little speck in the air. But if you're flying over a residential area and you lose sight of your drone and it crashes, well, you might get yourself in some trouble and get us all in trouble. So let's just make sure we know those basic rules and what to do. So if you're lucky to have a Mavic Air or a DJI, pretty much, I'm not sure, I know the Mini would, but below that I'm not sure, they have a return to home function. So if they do lose signal or something, she'll fly back and land on you. One good thing to do if you do have the Mavic, set your return home at 60 meters, so it'll fly. So if you're flying at say 30 and there's trees around, you lose signal, it'll pop up to 60 meters and then come in and land at that height to the return to home. So having a little setup like that can save your drone as well, because you never know what conditions you're in. But yeah, the range is really good on these. So you know, you are meant to be able to see it. That's my point there. So what we need to do now is we need to get this thing ready to go. So I've got mine. I'm charging up now because I'm getting ready to fly myself. But one thing too with the to know is that these are your aerials. So don't forget to put them down when you fly. And before you put a battery in, take this off. This gimbal's like really fragile. I've got a little lens on it, a polarized lens, which will keep it nice and safe. So it keeps the sun glare out, because the way I shoot, it's generally glary. I'm not really getting up at 4 in the morning. Can't shoot it, can't fly at night either, unless you've got a proper license. So you don't go flying at night. Yeah, so you can put little filters on it. If you get the Fly More combo, which I do recommend that you have at least a few more batteries, no matter what your drone is, because you'll get around 15 to 20 minutes, and it's nice to not be pushing that to the limit. So basically, you don't want to be returning home with 30% battery. You want to be returning home with 50% battery. Maybe do a bit more flights closer to you. Quite often I'll be at 30% and I'll go, oh, I just want one more shot. But there is a chance the battery will come in, it'll cut in, especially in the DJIs, that it will say, hey, we're coming home. So you'll ruin your shot. So have that in mind when you go out to get your shot, is know what you're shooting. So I when I go now, like when I first started, I was just flying, and that's fine, and it's great to do. Just get it up in the air, fly it around, and just bring it home and land it. That is a great success when you first start flying the drone. But after a while, you've had your fun just flying it around, and now you want to get that footage. For me, I go for photos. The video is another art in itself. And you'll see that when you're getting it. And I've done a lot of, I try and get my videos really good, but I find, because I use my stuff for my Instagram account, like I'll be hiking, I use it for my Instagram and my webpage, Aussie Survivor, go check us out. Yeah, so for me, it's more about images. I want those really crisp images that, you just can't get with a nice camera. Even professional photographers, they have a great camera. You have a $10,000 camera. I'm going to get that one shot that's just brilliant. You can check us out, Instagram, there's a link there. And yeah, you can just see what we get. So work out what you want. So when you go out and you're flying, so work out what you want to shoot. All right, well, let's get stuck into this. That's enough of me jabbering around. So basically what we're going to do now, I'll go over and show you what I'm doing now to set up for the day. So I'll just pause it here and we'll come back. I'll show you how I'm setting my batteries up, and we'll come back in a sec. Alright guys, so we're getting prepped to go for our flight now. Basically we have a drone, so I'm going to pack that up nicely. So with the Mavic, I always put the aerials down. You'll find a way to pack your drone up. That's one thing I really love about these guys. They just pack up light. These push down. There's plenty of videos on how to do all this, so I'm just giving you a quick run. But yeah, just have a quick look at your drone. Make sure it's not dirty. You've had a look at your gimbal. If you've got a brand new one, you don't need to look at it. And if you're already flying, you're probably not watching this anyway. So, but yeah, have a look at your gimbal. Make sure it's not a big smudge mark on it, because the more you can do here, the better. It is a proper lens too, so don't use just Windex or something, you know what I mean? Like, I'm sure most of you are smart enough to know that, but get a proper lens cleaner solution and a proper cloth. One thing I use, the camera gear, just a little bit of air, and I've got this little duster, which gives it a little dust. It seems overkill, but it works, and it's not going to break my drone because I spent a lot of money, and for me it was a lot of money, and I enjoy flying it, and I don't want to buy another one, so I try and look after my gear. But yeah, just make sure your connectors, everything's nice and clean, and that's ready to go. Now this is a cool tip, cool fun fact. So batteries can fail. So with the DJI, you press 1 and that'll come up, and that'll tell, oh, that's not really showing it in the light, but that's actually saying 4 there. So 4 of them. So that battery's charged, ready to go. The DJIs, after a while, will decharge to a whole charge. So basically to protect the battery. If it says 2 on there, you're not charged up. You don't have half your battery. It will take off and it will land. The reason I know this is because I did it and destroyed 2 batteries. So around 125 bucks each for mine. So some of them are worth more. Always charge your battery. It doesn't matter. You charge it the night before you go, charge it in the morning before you go, charge the battery before you go. Simple as that. There's no other way around it because they're expensive. And I always number my battery. So this is one of my original ones. It's I don't know if you can see that on the camera, but it's a number 1. And so that's one of my original batteries. And as I said before, I basically stuffed my batteries. So I've got N1 and I've got N2, N3. So these are my new batteries. Which are cool, and they actually charge really well. So I'm fully charged, ready to go. Now, if you got a kit or something, the DJI comes with a like a carry bag. So these are really cool. I don't know what I've got in this one. Oh yeah, I've got some other camera gear because I've used mine for thing. Protective props. You can use them if you need. I never did. Just don't crash it, and you'll be fine. But yeah, if you feel like you're going to crash into someone or yourself or something like that, maybe if you're indoors or something. I've never really flown mine indoors because it can't get the GPS signals, so you're taking a lot of risk. It's, you know, basically by flying it indoors. I've got my camera bag set up, so I've got a proper. I'll set this up. I might actually bring the camera in a bit. Yeah, this is my basic kit. So I basically have my camera here, and my batteries go in here. So I just slide them in. I always put them in a certain way so I know which ones are charged and which ones aren't. Once I've used it, I'll put it in differently. But yeah, I'll come back to this because we haven't gone over the controller, but the controller slips in there. And then my drone will just pack on nicely at the top. This bag's worth about $200-300 bucks. It's really good, and carries everything I need. I've got stuff for water there, all my gear for the day. So yeah, give you a bit of an idea of what I carry. Alright guys, so let's just basically go over your controller. Now one thing to remember here is a lot of them, I'm sure some of the high-end ones use their own screen, but you'll need your phone. So a couple of tips here for your phone. I have a iPhone 11 Pro, old phone now apparently. And basically you'll want to make sure this is charged because this is going to be your screen and obviously your phone. Another thing I like to do, and this is obviously, while we're on the phone we might as well go through some of the apps and stuff like that, but one thing I like to do is put mine into airplane mode. So I'm sure you know what airplane mode is, but yeah, whack it in that while you're flying, because the last thing you want is your mum calling you saying, hey, what are you doing for Christmas? It doesn't work good because it will take over your phone, and you got enough going on already, so you don't need to have someone calling you. So put your phone airplane mode every time, just do it. But while we're on the phones, I'll just show you an app I use, and this was recommended to me. It's called, can you see that? I'll see if I can zoom in. There it is there. Oh, Open Sky. Now this app here, obviously you need to have Wi-Fi, so this is actually going to check the area and it's going to tell me whether I can fly here. Sorry if this is really bad footage, but yeah, so, and I can also grab that, I can zoom out, So if I want to, this is where I live, let's say I want to go fly here today, I can grab it. I used to be able, oh, you can actually, it's showing me the checklist pass and everything, that's fine. But I have my commercial with an operator certificate issued by CASA, so I have that. But so this will also check that. But you can put your address in. So bloody messages. Should have my phone in like. So basically, if I wanted to go Greens Pool, William Bay, so I can check that area before I go. And it says checklist pass, fly with hazards, clear of known, marine and mark clear. So it's fine. So according to this, and for me, so what I'll do is I'll take a snapshot of that. You just do your screenshot. I'll take a shot of that just as a backup for myself, that I've done everything I can do. And that's even for fun, you can fly there. So I've done everything I can do to protect myself, because if anyone says, I'll say, mate, I've done the check, we are all good. So basically, yeah, just do your pre-check. I'll put a link for that in the description too. If I forget, just remind me. Start checking messages then. Oh my God, I think I'll just leave this in flight mode all the time. But yeah, so basically, you want your phone charged, is what I was trying to get at there. You'll want to use that app, Open Sky it's called. Use it, it's great. And the thing is, like, there are so many laws and things like this, but if a ranger comes up to you and says, hey mate, you can't fly here, and you say, well look, I've done the checks, I've done what I think's right, I've checked your website, everything I think, I've flown at the right distance from people, I've flown at the appropriate height, 120 meters is your max height. Set your drone to 120 meters. You go through the settings, it's really easy. Just set your drone up 120 meters, 60 meters return, and shoot in RAW too. Yeah, if you're going to be doing editing in Lightroom and things like that, which I'll go through in a bit, you want to shoot in RAW. But yeah, do what you can to protect yourself, okay? Because there will be people, oh, you can't fly that here, you can't film me. And it's like, well, actually I can. This says I can. I haven't flown within you. I haven't flown in your area. So within 30 meters of you, I haven't broken no laws. So yes, I can film you, unfortunately, but you don't want to get in those situations. If people do like that, just pack up and leave. Just move on, because you've got a drone. You can fly, you can drive 100 meters down the road and film the same shot. You just got to fly back there. So yeah, try not to get in confrontations with people, because some people are just funny. It's not their fault, it's just how they are. But yeah, keep your phone charged, use your app, protect yourself in that way. While I've got my phone in the hand, DJI has some great apps. So I use their Mimo as well, which we might use a bit later. But the DJI, for DJI, I'll see if I can focus that in, it is the Go 4. So basically that's how you enter your drone. You're going to need this to fly your drone, so you'll probably already have it. You pick your drone and stuff like that. Now when you first fly, it's going to ask you some checks. It's going to have you done the checklist, and it'll ask you some random questions like, how close do you fly to people? I remember, I haven't done it for a while, but I remember when I first flew it. So make sure you fly your drone at home first. Don't go racing out to the national park or wherever, the beach or whatever you want to do. Fly it at home first, because you'll find it's not going to just jump up in the air and fly. And if the DJIs are pretty technical, so they actually won't fly in restricted zones. It'll actually just shut down and won't fly. So pretty smart on DJI. You don't want to fly near airports and stuff like that. That's why that Open Sky app's really cool, because sometimes you might not even realise you're near an airport, and it'll say there's an airport. Sometimes it'll say there's an airport in the area. Just fly with caution. So I've been up at a mate's property, did my checks, everything. Bloody scenic plane flies over. I could hear it, and I was at 120 meters in the air trying to get some aerial shots of his house. So the first thing I do, whack it in sports mode and drop that baby as quick as I can. We do not want to be getting in the way of planes. So it was just a freak occasion. obviously, you know, you can see the plane and it's miles over there, still bring it in. If you can see a plane, get out of the sky. That's my version. I don't know what anyone else thinks of that, but if there's a plane flying around, get the hell out of Dodge. You know what I mean? Like, get out of there. You want to land immediately. That's my theory, and I think that's pretty much the law too, because that's the last thing they need, and there's people's lives at hand, not just our, you know, little toys or drones. So yeah, get out of the sky, and if you can always hear a plane, and you normally with someone, you'll have a spotter as well, or you might be by yourself, but you'll hear a plane. As soon as you hear that, you know, because they're normally, where I am is normally like scenic tours, so they're very rare, but every now and then they'll pop up. As soon as I hear it, I'm landing. I'm getting down to, I'm returning home, and as fast as possible. So you want to be visual. Sorry, my words. You want to have visual eye contact with your drone, and you want to bring it down as fast as possible and get away from that plane. So if I've never had the situation where I've had to dodge one, but if you did, you know, if you could see it was coming straight at you or something, and you'd left it too late, obviously, you know, try and do some evasive maneuvers, but you really want to get that down on the ground in your hand. And I'll teach you how to land in your hand too. I've never actually landed on the ground except once when my battery was dying. That was at home, luckily for me. So yeah, so I'm going off now, but yeah, so the DJI app is really cool. It's going to connect to your thing, but it also has a really good editing software, which will do some cool things. Just open it in the, you just open the editor. Mine's loaded because I've been trying to load a film, yeah, so it's just taking its time. But this is just something I did yesterday. It's made this, I haven't made this. But you know, it's just gonna have a little look at that. I might be able to I'll put this up on the clip, but yeah, it's just gonna make a quick clip, 30 seconds, put that on your Insta or whatever, and you can edit and stuff like that. Really cool feature of the DJI app. But yeah, that's enough about phones, I think. So now we're ready, we're charged up, all our batteries are charged, we've checked the drone, it's all clean. You've already done your pre-check, so this can be your pre-check for you. Going in, pause this, come back to it, or watch it and then come back and watch it again, whatever you like. Drone's ready, battery's ready, phone's fully charged. We've checked our flight zone, we checked where we're going. So now let's go fly the drone. One thing I just want to quickly mention, because I haven't yet, is your SD card. So you won't get that normally with the drone. Some you do, some you don't. But something like the DJI Mavic Air that I've got can shoot in 4K. So the write speed is how fast you can write. So you don't want a too crap one going in there. I don't think you need to get like, you know, $1,000 memory card. But I think I use the SanDisk Extreme Pro, which has about 170 write speed. I've just got a 64 gig card, and I have a backup if I require. But the other thing with the cards is I'll see if you can get that. I'll try and focus in. I'll see if we can get it. I don't know if it'll work today, but let's try. Yeah, it's not playing the game. But in the card there's a 1, 2, or 3. So that's gonna basically tell you whether it's what it is. So the ones are more for, like, you know, your dash cams or your little, well, even the dash cam's probably not even that good, but yeah, you want to get a number 3 in there. It's quite tiny and hard to see, and most people wouldn't even know. But I found out, but I was lucky. I was using a 3, but I just upped the quality of my card to make sure I don't miss that shot, because to me it's important. That's why I'm going out there, to get that shot. So I don't want to go, oh, that looked amazing, and then I get home and it's gone. And also the only other thing with the card is format it in your drone. So providing, I know DJI, I'm sure most of the other ones will, but format it in the drone, and what that'll do is teach it how to talk to the memory card, so you'll get a much better write speed again. So obviously when you format your card, it wipes everything off there, so make sure you've got nothing. If you're using an older one from something else, make sure you've deleted everything. Most people know that formatting is erase, so it's complete wipe out of your card, so don't have anything on it. And yeah, so now it's time to get the drone in the air. So we'll meet outside, and yeah, we'll go through the how to get this baby in the air. We're outside now, so basically I've got my kit all ready to go. One thing that we need to just quickly go over, you might have got some filters. Now I use the ND4 polarized, and that's my go-to. I don't really change from that. I find it just works good because it's always sunny when I'm flying. Not always sunny, but when I'm flying it, it's generally quite glary. So yeah, the ND4 polarized, you'll get a few, you can try them out, but I think you'll find you'll stick with that. So I'll bring the camera in now and I'll go through the setup and how we're going to do this. So be with you in a sec. So the first thing I'm going to do for my phone, I've got an 11 Pro. You'll want to make sure your attachments on your controller are right. Now with the DJI, you should get a few. You'll get a contact there and a contact here. So that's basically, it slides in there. It is a bit of a stiff push, so you won't break it. It's quite solid. But yeah, chuck him in there. So with your controller for this one, don't forget you got your little arm pieces. If you get the Fly More kit, you get a couple extras, but try not to lose them. I have flown once and forgot to put these in, so it's important when we fly that we just take a few seconds and have a breathe. These are your aerials, so we want to make sure they're out. Sometimes you just might want to adjust them a bit, but generally speaking, that's you set up, ready to go on the controller. So what we'll do now is bring the phone in. I'll just put this down for a sec. Remembering on the phone, put it in flight mode now. Well, actually, let's do it this way. So I'm going to fly now. So I have a little section for my apps. We go to Open Sky. We're going to open that up, and we're going to do a quick check around the area. It's got that, and yes, we're all fine to fly. So then we get out of that. I'll put it in airplane mode. The last thing I want is a bloody phone call. So now I'm going into the app. Just remember your camera is going to be covered when you go into it. So you want to put in, basically just set in. Oh, internet connection, that's fine. I don't need that, just want to plug him in. It does stuff your covers up too, but that's something I don't mind. I'll just get a new cover. But so basically put that in, get that in nice and secure. Just make sure you're maintaining that connection. Just give it a nice firm push. You want to now turn your remote on. Okay, so we're going to enter the device now. Now we're going to choose the aircraft. It's basically connect to the aircraft. So now what I'm going to do is turn my drone on. Obviously make sure your charges, your actual controls charge too. So you want to make sure everything full charge before you go out. These just flip out. Don't forget to pull these out. They're your aerials, so they will help the signal. You can fly it with them in, but yeah, not a good idea. And they also sort of balance it out when you land. I never land on the thing. Now there's a fun time. This goes off. As soon as you pack it away, this goes back on. Always protect your gimbal, because that's going to be expensive to repair. Look after your equipment. Now DJI, I'm using one of my original batteries, so I always push in there. Give it a nice firm click. You shouldn't see any red here. You should see no red. If there's a bad connection, it will tell you. And then it's just one. See, I've got full charge. I can see, you might not see. And then hold down. Oh, I might have done that too slow. One, and then hold down. And it'll have a little jig. Okay? So we'll put that down now. Making its noises. So now we're going to go back into here. Back into the phone. Whoop, better not show you my code. Now we're going to go wide connection. And it's already connected, so it will come through with a guide. Now, so I always do this. It's a calibrate section. So I'll move the camera and we'll go into another mode now, and I'll calibrate it, and we'll get her up in the air, and I'll show you what I do for a pre-check. Alright, so we're going to calibrate it now. So it's I'll just go, might switch hands. You get used to doing things by yourself with these. And we just go start. Calibrate. Oh. And it's basically, I do the dance. And that didn't work, so I've got to do it again. Whew, I'm all dizzy now. So that's done. So one thing to look for too is how many satellites you got. So right now I can see I have 3. I've had it up to 16. So you sometimes just want to let it sit for a sec. I'm up to 7 now. 9 satellites. 10 satellites. Now we're going to take off. And with the DJI, it's just a matter of pressing a button. So I'm going to put it out there a bit more. And I always go, it's not letting me do precise takeoff. So I might just cancel. Might cancel. So it's just not fully green, so it's dropping in and out, so I'm going to recalibrate again. We'll do that one more time. Alright, you can see it's just playing a bit funny, but so it's got no GPS, going vision, so it'll be right now. And it's fully green. Precise takeoff. I always do precise takeoff. And that's it. Just slide that lever. And we launch straight out of the hand. So because I'm in close to an air zone, it's asked me to accept responsibility for that. And I'm going to accept that now. Because I'm not going to fly high here. So I'm just going to bring that down. It's just like in the hover, so it's just settling in. We have 11 GPSs now. So what we'll do is we'll come back. Right, so now we've got it in the air. So one thing I like to do is just make sure we've got good coverage. So we just do some checks. Just spin him around. Always hit record once you start flying. You never know what you're going to capture. Could be the last time you fly. Nice smooth rolls. Okay, so just keep it nice and close. I'll try and alright. We're going to tilt that way and tilt that way. We're going to go backwards. We're going to go forwards. Going to check the gimbal. Very good. So you'll see I've got full forward. It's going no. I'm not going to go any forward. So we got lots of action. So let's just go up in the air. now we can see. So I've had enough now. So I'm just going to press that return to home, and you watch her. It's so bright, I can't see. So we're going to cancel it. So what we don't want it to do is actually land. I'm going to spin it around and I'll show you how to. So when it lands the obstacle avoidance, we're just going to pull it, keep pulling down, and it will bring that down. So watch this. Wrong button. Sorry. Keep pulling down on this one. And you got your drone. Alright, so we've been out, we've had a fly now, we're feeling confident. Now we've got some footage, and this is one area I think might help some people. I hope you're still hanging with me, because I reckon this is the value from this little meeting, because you will learn to fly the drone. Just give yourself time. But one thing is the editing, and there's so many programs that cost money. I got a bit Lightroom. They did the right by me, gave me my money back, but I wanted to try it. I tried it, and then I had the free 7-day, and then I went to cancel it because I went a couple of weeks, so my fault. But then they charged me for the whole year. So here's the catch: it's a monthly subscription, but you pay. It's a yearly subscription that you pay monthly. A little bit of a twist on words there. I didn't quite pick up, and I rate myself at picking things up. So there's a lot of little tricks there. But what I did work out, Lightroom is awesome for editing photos, and you can get it for free. Well, you can get the basics for free, which is all you really need. Because we're not like, well, I'm not a professional photographer, you know, like, but for my Instagram and stuff like that, it's great. Like, so you just download the app on your phone, and you can put your photos to your phone, use it on your phone. I didn't like the cloud on Lightroom. I didn't like all my pictures going to cloud. Like, what are you doing with them? Like, are you selling them? Probably not. But hey, I'd rather have full control of my images in my editor, you know. So yeah, but you can get the free app. So, and from what I can see, I could be wrong on this. I'm not as I say, I'm not a professional editor or anything like that. So I'm just saying, for someone like you, or you and maybe, or me and maybe you as well, that we don't want to spend, you know, $200, $300 a year on software that we might only use a tiny bit of it. Because like, I know there's some amazing editing gear out there, and you can do some amazing things, and you'll see, and I'll edit this video in DaVinci, which is a free version. So what I might do is I'll bring the camera in. DaVinci, excuse me for turning around, and you've got to work out the name. DaVinci Resolve. Now this is free editor. Obviously you just get the basic version. You're not going to get all the high-tech jargon. But I tried Adobe Premiere. It was too hard for me. Maybe after I've used this, I can step up to that. But I seriously, like, you know, and that's professional. And hopefully one day I can get there into that, and I see a need to get there. But right now it's like I don't know the word to describe it, but it's like, you know nothing about something, and they go, all of a sudden you're a doctor and you got to heal someone. You know, like, it's like, well, I don't know how to fix a broken leg. You know, I mean, I can use a camera. I don't know how to repair one, and it's like, it's almost like that's what I felt like. I just went, this is too hard with Photoshop Premiere, or you know, I think it's Premiere. It's their top line one, and it is amazing from what I've heard. It's like, I'm not bagging or anything. I just couldn't use it because it was just too advanced for me. So I found this one, DaVinci. It's free. It's really a little bit techy, but not too techy. You know, you got to have a little bit of a nav skill, but I found it really easy to use, and it was free. So they haven't asked for money yet. If I want the extra features, I can upgrade it. which I might do down the track. I don't know, because I really like using it. I'll use it to edit this video. But yeah, go for Lightroom on your mobile. I'll put links in the description. Lightroom on your mobile and DaVinci Resolve, and I'll give you a quick tour of that. I won't spin around because there's probably people that know it heaps better than me, but I'll just give you a quick flick at it so you can just see what it might not look that good on my screen through the camera. So we'll have a quick squeeze, and yeah, and then we'll just finish this video off. All right, one sec. Alright guys, turns out I've got a massive screen. So basically, with DaVinci, you put your photos there, so we'll just grab a couple of clips. And then you just add them into it. Oh, something's happening. Alright, sorry, I've got to finish off. So basically, I've got my video, and I've whacked it there. You can put it in there. You can add your musics and stuff like that. You can see some of my footage there. You can speed it up. You can slow it down. It's unreal. So what we might do is I might actually leave this clip in, and we'll put it in the actual final video. But yeah, get on DaVinci. It's free. Teach yourself. There'll be better people to teach you how to use it. Alright guys, well I hope you've enjoyed this and you've learned something today. Please give us a subscription and a thumbs up at the least if you hung in this far. I need to get to 1,000 followers. You know, obviously I do these things for fun. I have my own website, and you know, that's how I actually make my money, but I'd love to make some extra money with YouTube, and to get there I need 1,000 subscribers. So if you're liking the content and you're feeling like it's, you know, helping you in some way, and we'll all grow together. I mean, I've learned so much since I started doing this YouTubing, and I've really enjoyed it. It's been frustrating and expensive, some of the camera gear. But yeah, thank you so much for following us, and if you already are, really, I love getting the thumbs up. I hate getting the thumbs down, but that's alright, I get it. I'm not going to please everyone. And I promise I will try and get better. I wrote a quote down today. You don't have to be great to start, but you need to start to try and be great, or something like that. And that's what I want to, you know, keep venturing to be better, and get some really top quality content out to you guys. But yeah, I wanted to put this video out because I've seen so many people that I reckon they're going to get a lot of drones for Christmas and stuff like that. And you know, we need to just make sure we're following the laws and keeping everyone safe. So in true Aussie style, thanks for watching. It's time for me to relax now and put this video together for you, and I'll see you on the next round.